There's some major great news for Dakota Kai. We'll also check out what's new for Liv Morgan, Ava Raine, and much more. Starting things off with everything related to Dakota Kai, it's been nearly 9 months since Dakota Kai unexpectedly went down with the dreaded torn ACL injury during a match on Smackdown. Torn ACLs are a very painful and annoying injury because the road to full recovery nearly takes an entire year. So as we inch closer and closer to the 1-year anniversary of Dakota Kai's injury, fans can't help but get extremely excited and hyped, believing that Dakota could be cleared for action literally any day now. Dakota has hyped up her clearance several times over the last few weeks, but at the same time, also told fans just to relax a bit on it because she wasn't cleared quite yet. Well, Dakota Kai once again teased her upcoming clearance, but in the biggest new way. Dakota Kai was on set for WWE, and they appear to be filming promotional content for WrestleMania 40. Dakota Kai shared behind-the-scenes footage of herself being dressed in full ring gear for the first time in nearly a year, and even more footage of herself posing on a WrestleMania 40 runway while still being in the ring gear. Dakota captured the video by saying "comeback season," but also added to the end of the caption that she still wasn't cleared yet. So it's still unfortunate that she's not cleared, but either way, this is something that fans are very excited about. Dakota Kai's in full ring gear filming what appears to be promotional content for WrestleMania 40. It can mean lots of different things. Maybe it's just some extra promotional material WWE's filming for WrestleMania 40. Or maybe you could take it as a sign that Dakota Kai may have a role at WrestleMania 40, a role that will see her being physical. So fans are desperately waiting to see when Dakota Kai will finally get that clearance. As far as things go with Dakota Kai on WWE television, she may not be cleared right now, but she still has a very important and interesting role in the current Damage CTRL storyline. Considering Dakota Kai wasn't there for the big Damage CTRL breakup segment, Dakota's loyalty for who she stands with is still completely in limbo and up in the air. We know that Dakota Kai has been trying to be the peacemaker and diffuser over the last few months with all the tension between Bayley and Damage CTRL. But the big question there that we still don't know the answer to was if Dakota Kai was being genuine or not. Was Dakota Kai actually trying to be nice to Bayley and calm the situation down? Or was it simply just a manipulative tactic and a part of Io's much bigger plan? We still have no answer to that question so far. But assuming we get another television appearance from Dakota Kai coming up, maybe that'll be a big part of the story as well. Maybe Dakota Kai has no side in the Damage CTRL split, and will sort of be like a free agent for Bayley and Io's side. Maybe Dakota speaks with the both of them and tries to figure something out to fix the problem. But once that plan ultimately fails, we're to assume that Dakota Kai will have to pick a side between Bayley and Io Sky. And like we just spoke about, Dakota Kai is about to be cleared, so she'll be a massive help for either side that scoops her up. And maybe Dakota Kai does go with Bayley because if you look at the numbers advantage, it does seem absolutely heavily in Io's favor. If Io Sky has Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai in her corner at WrestleMania 40, it really seems hard to picture a world where Bayley could overcome that massive 4-on-1 advantage. So similar to what we've been seeing with the LWO and Final Testament storylines, it looks like Bayley will have to find some allies and reinforcements to help her with this numbers advantage. The only issue is Bayley has been a heel that tormented the babyfaces for the last 5 years. And similar to groups like the Bloodline, Bayley was destroying the women's division with her own faction over the last few years. So the babyfaces realistically shouldn't be jumping at the opportunity to help Bayley with Damage CTRL, considering everything she's done to them in all recent memory. But maybe with a bit of convincing and talking things out, and if Bayley's able to fully bring Dakota Kai to her side, maybe Bayley could pick up another superstar or two to help her with his ongoing battle with Damage CTRL. So look for Bayley to possibly talk some sense into Dakota Kai and bring in even more additions to help her cause. Liv Morgan made waves back in December for being arrested and being in possession of a few substances. But according to new court filings, Liv Morgan's case has been dismissed and closed. Liv's most serious charge was synthetic cannabinoids, but an assistant state attorney said that the state of Florida is required to prove that the THC came from synthetic sources and was not derived from plant sources. The state doesn't have any labs that could provide that proof and answer, so it ended up being dropped. Court files also claim that Liv Morgan had to pay $543 for a fine, but everything else was dropped. And from the wrestling news and rumors side of things, it's being reported that there's still no heat on Liv Morgan for the incident, and things could be continuing for her as originally intended in WWE. WWE even treated Liv Morgan's recent return as a major deal, giving her that special number 30 spot at the Royal Rumble. And like we've been discussing throughout the week, Liv Morgan will take part in a qualification match for the Elimination Chamber and has a goal of wanting to get back at Rhea Ripley. The biggest controversy in all of WWE still remains to be the situation with The Rock inserting himself into the WrestleMania 40 main event, cutting the line, and more specifically, cutting in front of Cody Rhodes. It's understandable that the fans are frustrated and angry and want their voices to be heard, but it seems like a part of the community is taking things too far and taking it to that toxic level. Even Sami Zayn, Ricochet, and a few other superstars have been talking about their support for Cody Rhodes, but also saying that the fans need to know what line not to cross and how there's way more important matters happening all over the globe. But their message didn't really seem to get across to everyone. Some fans even bringing The Rock's daughter, Ava Raine, into this entire situation. Ava's met with loud boos now when she's shown on WWE television, simply because of the fact that she's The Rock's daughter, so fans are letting her hear it as well. Ava's Twitter profile was full of these toxic fans that were taking things too far. Ava even tweeted out that she had nothing to do with the WrestleMania 40 situation and wanted to be left out of it. She just wants to focus on running NXT. But after it didn't stop and toxic fans got even worse, Ava ended up deactivating her entire page. It was also reported that WWE is now muting the live crowd reaction when Ava is shown on WWE television. So it's a situation that's now impacting several different levels of WWE. But according to the latest reports, there's nothing that's stopping this match between Roman Reigns and The Rock from happening at WrestleMania 40. Reports claim that the only thing that prevents the match from happening is an injury. But other than that, nothing is allegedly getting in the way. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.